Hello everyone. I'd like to start with you the session talking about the Microsoft Access. And in this session, we are going to take a quick look on Microsoft Access. And if you need more information, you can go to the YouTube and try to look at some tutorials that can help you to understand how to build up your database, how to manipulate the information, and how to report it at the end. What is a simple definition of a database? We usually say it's a collection of lists, like lists of customers, suppliers, employees, invoices, receipts. So whatever lists we make it, and if we make a relationship among those lists or tables, this way we call it a relational database. And the Microsoft Access is doing a good job by building up this relational database management system where we create the data, we store the data, and then try to report it at the end. To create the data or enter the data on Microsoft Access, you usually have some type of forms, like designing the screen in a way that you can enter the data smoothly. And then you store the data in form of tables or lists, which is similar to the Excel spreadsheet. And then you print out the data in two forms, either in form of query, where you have it on the screen, or in form of report, where you can have it on a hard copy. You will get the first screen like this. You have here two options. Either you start up building your own database, which we might do it later on, or you can use one of the existing templates. So what I'm going to do is select this template, which is for students. And then once we click here, the system will ask for the name of the database. So here, for example, we will give a name of customer students database. And then we click create. And here the Microsoft Access will upload all the forms, tables, queries, and reports, which is already built in this database. And this is what you can see. By looking at the column here on the left side, you can see here first tables, and there is several tables here, and then queries, where you can find several as well, forms, and then reports. So the easiest one to look at it is the tables, because the table, it looks like a spreadsheet. So here, for example, we look at the students here. Okay. So here you can see it's an empty table similar to the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. And here we try to add new student. Once we click on the new student, you can see forms. And this is the form where we fill out the student data, like first name, maybe Kelly, Brian, and then we write the student ID, maybe 1, 2, 3, some numerical data. And then for the level, maybe she's sophomore, and then the room number is 1, 2, 3. And yeah, for the circumstances here, you can choose either one of them, or you can click on the list here where you can edit the list item. So maybe this student is transferred. So here we write transferred from another city. And then once you click here, you can see the circumstances where you can add it up. And then you can go for the rest of the information. And once we close it here, we should be able to see the new record for Kelly. And of course, we can keep adding new information. Maybe if we need to add something about the guardian, who will be her guardian. So if we click here, new guardian, we write about her parents, we can add photo, and so on. And by doing this, we add up the information. So this way it looks like the Microsoft Excel, where you can start actually putting the data on the table. But in Microsoft Access, they make the data entry is more convenient, where you can put it here on the forms. So for example, the student detail, you click on the form, and this will give you the form for data entry, which is very easy for entering. The table, we use it for storage, and then query, if I would like to get the list of all the students that they start by the name Kelly, so we can drive out this list. For the report, we can design. So this is a pre-formatted template that we can use it, or we can create our own database. So here, if I go to new, I then start looking at the database, and we start building up the name of the database. So maybe I'll call it here sample one. Okay. And here, as you can see, first we look at this one, home. It's similar to what you see on Microsoft Excel or Word. The toolbar is quite similar, but create here, it gives us 4 options. Either we create table or form or report or macro. And then usually we go for the table, because this is enter first is the first name, and then short text last name, and then student ID. And here for the ID, usually it's numeric, so here I say student ID. Okay, and so on. So here, for example, as you can see, the first name, I enter it as text, and if you need to change it, you can change the different options here. So for example, here I write Kelly, and here the last name, Brian, and then student ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you can go for the second student, maybe David Winter, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and as you can see here, the moment I start creating, it will show you a numerical number, and this is, we call it the primary key on the left side here. The primary key, it gives a unique identification number for each line or each record. And by doing this, I create the table. So this is in a nutshell how to play with the Microsoft Access. And I hope you find it useful. You can find, of course, more material on the YouTube, how to help you to learn Microsoft Access.